It's not hard to imagine that every child is unique and has his own way to learn. The twinkling, curious eyes have their own dreams, and the little steps will find their unique way to reach their goal. And it's not just the kids, but the parents are equally curious about their future.
Will my child get personal attention in school?
As a parent, I want to know, is curriculum be relevant to today's time? In today's world, how can I choose a good school for my child?
These days, with so many career options, how do I know what my child wants to become in life?
We care for our children at home so much. Will we get the same personalized attention in school in a class of 40?
That's the irony of the education system today, that instead of the child, it's the parent doing all the questioning. But not to worry, we have all the answers for the anxious parents out there. But before we get to that, let's actually look at what constitutes a good school. Is it a big building? An air-conditioned classroom? Modern infrastructure? Or is it something else? Something beyond teaching? Something that tries to find out the motivation for a child to learn, to engage, inspire, and encourage them. Something that defies classroom boundaries, that believes in identifying each child's inherent talent, that believes that each child can be a Wolfgang Mozart, a Pablo Picasso, a Marie Curie, or a Sachin Tendulkar. All these child prodigies weren't great just because they were gifted. They became great because somebody else identified their unique talent and mentored them, because somebody else knew that they were unique in their own ways. All of them had their own unique inherent talent. All they needed was a mentor who encouraged and nurtured them. Let me introduce one such mentor, the Millennium School.
Welcome to the Millennium School, where we are committed to nurturing the inherent potential and talent in each child. And creating lifelong learners who will be the leaders of tomorrow. With parents as our partners, we aspire to create global citizens who are innovative and have a strong sense of values. The Millennium School is not just a school. It's a new way of looking at learning from the child's point of view. It's a new way of making learning more interesting and more engaging. At Millennium School, learning is not just limited to enhancing academic or intellectual abilities, but also focus on creative, physical, and social abilities.
So how do we do it? Our whole approach is centered around the child. In fact, we believe that in our school, there's only one child, that's yours. Because we understand that every child is unique and requires a personal attention to identify his or her own unique inherent talent. Thus, the fundamental need is to identify the individual talent and learning style for every child, and then devising a system unique to that child. With this philosophy and belief, our experienced R&D team has done an extensive study on what and how a child should learn. Based on this study, we devised a flexible learning system, questioning ourselves and challenging the very fundamentals of the education system. How can we make textbooks more interesting than storybooks and comics? How can a child get inspiration from our rich, age-old heritage and use it in today's times? How can the learning at school help a child be successful in life? Is it possible to track a child's progress on a daily basis? Why does a child have to wait till grade 12 to decide about his career? Is it really possible for, say, grade 8 child to know about more than 200 professions? These and many more such questions were the focus of our study, and we came up with a revolutionary learning approach called the Millennium Learning System, which forms the backbone of our entire school learning model. The main components of the Millennium Learning System are revamping the textbook, learning beyond the classroom boundaries, talent development, and a self-assessment approach. Let me explain how these components help your child be successful in life. We understand that at different age levels, a child has a different learning style. That's why textbooks and other learning aids needs to be customized to the child's learning style. So we have divided the entire school stage into 4 learning levels. And for each of these levels, we have a scientifically customized approach.
Like for play school, the focus is on the play and learn approach. While in primary level, it's project-oriented approach, and so the textbooks are like project reports that encourage the child to learn while doing scientifically designed project assignments, activities and games. And when the child graduates from the primary to the middle level, we understand that the child at this stage starts questioning in life and needs role models. That's why we follow the role model approach in textbooks. Each and every concept is linked to a role model from life. Also, to make the learning more engaging and interesting, these concepts are explained using comic strips in each chapter. So, the textbooks are filled with real role models.
Let's move on to the final stage in school. The child is now in high school. There's peer pressure, competition, high expectations from parents, focus on cracking the board exams. But before all that, here's a question. Have you ever wondered why some of the most successful people in life are not the ones who scored very high in their school? The answer lies in understanding what is the motivation for each child to score high, and realizing that the reason for motivation can be unique for every child. Once again highlighting our core philosophy that every child is unique and needs personal attention to perform better. Now let me tell you about, or rather show you about, another very innovative aspect of the Millennium Learning System.
One such effort of the Millennium Learning System is the concept of self-assessment. Here, the child is given a 5-minute fun activity after every 30 minutes of lesson, which tests his writing, listening and reading skills. This performance is recorded into our MIS system, which is then analyzed further. Hence, even the parents know about their child's growth on a daily basis. All along the child's learning path, we carefully identify and understand his individual needs, and thus introduce a scientifically backed up, inspiring learning environment in the classroom, right from flexible seating plan for kids based on their learning pattern, to revolutionary textbooks that are full of activities, games and projects, from comic strip concept explanation to introduction of multimedia-based learning, converting the classroom into a smart class. School bags are transformed into smart laptops containing the entire syllabus. All these endeavors are focused on our core philosophy that every child needs a unique learning approach.
All this forms the basis of our Millennium Learning System in our Millennium Schools, where we are committed to nurturing the potential and talent of each child, create lifelong learners who will be the leaders of tomorrow.